This time by, green flag is out and we're underway. 14, Terry in the 8, side by side now, down in turns 1 and 2. And look at this field bunched up out of turn number 2. Rob Eisted in the 14, Steve Perry in the 8, continue to stay door to door. Gary Slammer in the 4, Kevin Gallant in the 31. Out of turn number 4, they come around and complete the lap. To call in this Thunder Car feature race, 1 lap down. Eisted still holding down the point in the 14. A little contact down here at turn number 4 as Steve Perry now. Top 3 trying to sneak underneath the 8 out of turn number 2. Eisted in the 14 and Gary Slammer in the 4 up into the 2nd spot. Rick Burbridge in the 2 now up in the 3rd. Steve Perry in the 8 trying to claw back on the outside mark. Gary Slammer in the 31 starting to slip back a little bit here. He's challenged by Brad Collison in the 13 out of turn number 2. Top 3 single file. Everybody else stacked up in behind as they head down into 3 and 4. Eisted, Slammer, and Burbridge out of 4 and onto the front stretch. Tries to sneak under as they head out of turn 2. Down the backstretch, looking to the outside, the number 2 of Rick Burbridge, trying to get alongside Gary Slammer as they head out of turn number 4. Slammer holding the inside line right on the back. Burbridge puts the pressure on Slammer. Down in turns 1 and 2. Burbridge on the outside, trying to take the long way around and onto the backstretch. Rick Burbridge holding on to the 2nd spot as they head down into turns 3 and 4. Slammer locking up the brakes down in 3. Onto the front stretch. Burbridge now challenges for the lead. Burbridge in the 2, taking the long road, and he's working his way around this field on the outside. Burbridge inching ahead of Eisted, and now Eisted clawing back as they head down the back stretch into 3 and 4. One more time, 7 laps into this feature race here for the Thunder Cars. Out of turn 4, down the front stretch. Burbridge again at the line, has the front power as they hit the front stretch. We'll see if Eisted can reclaim it here as they head out of 2. And it looks like a little bit of trouble there on the 14 off the 2. You see the slow ever so slightly there. Burbridge able to skirt by on the outside. Rick Burbridge now comes around and takes over the lead. Now back into the 2nd spot. Gary Slammer on the 4 and the 3rd. Mark Burbridge now in the 0-2, working the outside of Brad Collison as they head down the back chute. Down into 3 and 4. Mark Burbridge in the 0-2. Brad Collison in the 13. Door to door out of turn number 4. Kevin Gallant knocking on the door as they head down the front stretch into turn number 1. Drivers able to continue on here. Meanwhile, up front, 8 items or less. Rick Burbridge here in the express lane as he's checking out on the rest of this field here. Down the 2nd spot, Gary Slammer for 3rd, and now Brad Collison in the 13, working his way up to 4th. Kevin Gallant in the 31, hanging on. Mark Burbridge in the 0-2, all chasing our race leader here as they head down the front straight into the halfway point of the race. Rick Burbridge, 2 cars showing the way as Rob Eisted holding on to the 2nd spot. Gary Slammer in the 4 car for 3rd. Brad Collison in the 4th in the 13. Kevin Gallant rounding out the top 5 in the 31. And Mark Burbridge in the 0-2. Chris House in the 55. Steve Perry in the 8. In the 5 car, rounding out this field as they hustle their way down the front stretch through 1 and 2 and onto the back straightaway. Half a straightaway advantage for the number 2 car of Rick Burbridge, who is now showing the way in this one here, leaving the rest of the field to battle. 15 laps into this 25-lap feature race. Rick Burbridge with a full straightaway advantage over Rob Eisted, Gary Slammer, Kevin Gallant, and Brad Collison, your top 5 down in turns 3 and 4. got some glow coming out from that right front for sure in the 31 car. Rick Burbridge in the 2 showing the way here as Rob Eistedt holding a steady line and hanging on to that second spot. With some glowing rotors there in the 31, holding on to the 4 spot. Brad Collison, your heat race winner earlier tonight in the 13 car, he's running in the 5th spot. And again, all chasing number 2 down in turns 1 and 2, Rick Burbridge. Starting to apply the lumber to the 14 at the end of the front straightaway here. Slama getting a little frustrated. It looks like Slama thinks he's got the faster car and needs to find a way around this 14 if he wants to try and reel in Burbridge here in these closing laps. Turns 3 and 4, Rob Eistedt, the 14, trying to hold this field back. Right on his back bumper for 3rd, with Kevin Gallant in the 31, Brad Collison in the 13, Mark Burbridge in the 0-2 as your race leader comes down the front stretch with 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go for Rick Burbridge as he's showing the way in this one here, the freight train for 2nd place. Eistedt, Slama, Gallant, and Collison. Down in 3 and 4, Rick Burbridge in the 2 car. Coming down a white flag. 1 more lap to go for Rick Burbridge in the number 2. Single file out of turn number 4. Down the front straightaway, but down into turns 3 and 4. Checkered flag is in the air. Rick Burbridge is going to pick up the feature race win here on opening night. Down into turns 3 and 4. The battle for 2nd ensues. Onto the front straightaway, Rob Eistedt in the 14 is going to hang on for 2nd. Gary Smith for 3rd. It'll be Kevin Gallant for 4th, and Brad Collison rounding out the top 5.